Now that we've observed the sunset, which was absolutely beautiful, we're gonna return to, I think, this. I'm gonna say this line is probably pitch 0. All right, now let's yaw back right so that we can get ourselves to a proper retrograde. Just cracking my neck here a little bit. Attitude. This is where we are wanted to be. And I believe that's just in like a precautionary thing, because the only thing that we're able to use to return to the Earth is the retro packs behind our spacecraft. And if we're facing prograde and those accidentally fire, we're never coming home. If we face retrograde and they accidentally fire, we're coming home, not where we planned. And it might be kind of dicey, but at least we're coming home, right? Use only if there are errors in the gyro. I'm pretty sure that we have errors in the gyro. I'm pretty sure. Now, it's not telling me to actually do this, but I think we should. I'm gonna give it a shot. Maneuver the attitude to the 000 attitude using window reference, eyesight, or periscope. Well, we're gonna go 0. I think this is 180, which is the intention. Although that might be what they mean by 000. And I'm gonna say that this is aligned right here, pretty much. Gyro, normal, or free. This will set the gyros to use attitude as a reference point. Okay. Horizon check. Align the spacecraft. We can't really even see the horizon, but you can see just barely. This seems aligned. Welcome to Australia, mate. Align the spacecraft with the retrograde horizon. You can also use as marks on the periscope. No, not right now, we can't. The region should be about 000. If not, realign the gyros. Gyros normal or free? All right, we're gonna hit normal there. Switch. Might be hard to see anything. I don't know exactly if that's aligned, but we're gonna keep it like this. Might be hard to see anything during night, but try to observe the lights, then try to take a rest. We will wake you up at GYM. You're telling me that I should take a rest right now? Oh, the stars are coming out. I should take a rest right now? I'm only gonna be up here for a few hours. Roger that. Sounds like a good plan. This is Aurora signing off. Over. Oh, that's so cool. This is Aurora sounding off. Batteries sound good. Let's get an altitude check. How high are we? 232 kilometers. Battery check? 91% on our main bus. And number 3. Standbys are, well, standing by at 100, and isolated is at 99.8. We're good, except for that second battery, which has failed us. I think our gyros are operational again. Because that looks like it's about 0. I'm gonna see what happens when we switch this to auto and auto. All right, I think autopilot is taking control of the vessel now. You can see our manual fuel. We've used over half of it now. So I need to be a little bit more careful with the fuel usage, I think. But autopilot is keeping us nice and centered here. All right, so they want me to try to observe city lights over Australia. Let's see. Oh, we're not quite over Australia yet. We're going to be very soon. And we're going to be starting to come up. So you notice when we launched, we started going down. But we go down and then it loops back up. When we look at our trajectory, over a flat map of the Earth. Oh, and you can see them. See the city lights in the periscope there. Oh, that's incredible. What are our gyro sets here right now? We're at normal. All right, that should be expected. Let's time warp ahead and watch them whip by. 10 times speed here. Now, we can turn the filters off. Yeah, we can definitely observe the cities from here. Oh, that's very cool. Oh, and you can see them. You can see them whipping by from the windows even. Hello, Australia. All right, they said that they're gonna pick us up. Let's see. They're gonna pick us up at GYM, and GYM is... I'm actually not too sure. Oh, GYM is right here. Looks like it's the second one. So it's off the coast of Mexico, looks like. Okay. Let's do a radio check here. 505, all right. And we're about to lose communications with Australia. All right. Our oxygen is being used up. Looks like our secondary is full though, so that's good. Primary is slowly being used. O2 is good. Our sensor temps are good. Temperatures are all right. Cabin pressure is holding at 5.5. Fuel is where we left it. This should be nominal because our apoapsis is probably a little bit. We're not in a circular orbit, so this is going to go like this as we orbit, like back and forth. And we're heading to our periapsis now. And this is in the middle. We're at one of the two. So I think this is good. Autopilot is not holding our attitude during time warp, but I kind of expected that, to be honest. Oh, we should push that in. Yeah. Push that in. I'm pretty sure that that's important for something. All right, here we are. Looks like we left CYN. We should be approaching nearby the Hawaiian Islands. And next up is getting in communications with mainland United States. So hold on, we're gonna move the timescale to 1 and see what autopilot does. Oh yeah, it'll correct our attitude, but our gyros have done a good job at telling the autopilot how far off we are from nominal. So it'll just correct that real quick. Now in our briefing, when crossing, you'll observe the city lights. Yes, we did. Over at the Pacific, you'll observe the sunrise before crossing the United States. Okay, so the sunrise might be happening sometime soon. So it was sunset over Australia, which means sunrise. We should honestly be observing the sunrise sometime soon. I kind of wonder, if I pull yaw out, are you able to let me yaw at will? Yes. All right, we're gonna flip to prograde attitude. The autopilot should still be able to correct our pitch and our roll. But I'm gonna yaw over to prograde attitude so we can view the sunrise. Although considering I can still see the stars, I don't think it's happened quite yet. Good morning. Feel free to take a final peek of that sunrise. How do you feel? I feel pretty good. Feeling good up here. Being weightless seems to have no impact on my performance. Roger that. The flight surgeon is analyzing the data. Or the data. I was yelled at for calling it data on my Discord. And I can say what I want. I'm the pilot after all. Roger. All fine up here. Awesome. There's the horizon. We are pitched up a little bit too much. Oh, we appear to... Hold on. Can I push this in? And you fix... Will it fix roll? I seem to have maybe messed up the gyros once again. But we gotta be really careful with the amount of fuel I've got left. I'm gonna push all this in. I'm gonna have it correct our attitude on its own. That was the sunrise, though. That would have been the sunrise. All right, I'm gonna let autopilot do its thing, though. There's sunlight. Let's go ahead and flip these back on. Now it's real bright up in here again. Okay, I'm gonna let autopilot do its thing because we're running a little bit low on manual fuel. This is manual, this is auto. Auto's got some fuel to spare, so we'll let it do it. We'll let it do its thing. And it appears gyro is back to facing retrograde. We didn't get to view the sunrise per se, but I'm all right with that. Okay, so taking a look at our briefing on Orbit 2, we'll be planning for retrograde with a splashdown in the Atlantic. Our time to retro is 1 hour and 30 minutes. Our time from launch is about 1 hour and 30 minutes ago. The flight surgeon wants you to take a blood test sample. Roger that. Press start on the blood test, then let it run for 30 seconds. Okay. The blood test is right here, and we'll let it run for 30 seconds, so. On my mark. And in 30 seconds, we will hit stop. And we'll see what the flight surgeon says. See how my blood is pumping up here. We're doing all right. I'm hoping there's nothing wrong with me, Doc. All right, stop. Thanks. In the next orbit, we will perform the retrograde and return back to the Earth. We'll see you at CNV. All right, let's take a look at where CNV is. CNV is, looks like Florida, actually. Okay, so we're crossing over the United States here pretty soon. We should be able to see some cool things. So let's time warp ahead until we reach CNV. Looking down, we can see the different clouds, the different cloud layers. That's very neat. All right, we passed over Texas, over Mexico as well. And we are in communications with Cape Canaveral. Amazing. Welcome back to the Cape. We are glad to see you and congratulations on completing a full orbit. I'll take another drink of water for that. We'll let Flight think about how I'm drinking from a glass of water in zero gravity later. That is amazing. This is a huge achievement for the program. Roger. Thank you. Earth sure is beautiful from this altitude. You know, I was thinking the same thing. It really is. I'm scheduled for the last Mercury mission. Looking forward to getting into orbit. Manual return to retrograde attitude. And then set ASCS auto. Oh, I'm way ahead of you. I've already done this. And gyros are already at normal. Roger. Oh, wait, they want it caged. Ah, interesting. Okay. So what we're gonna do is turn that off. Flight, we seem to have a problem. Flight. Okay, we've stopped our roll. Caging the gyros, though. Caging the gyros. Would not recommend it. All right, we're keeping this at normal. Let's push all these back in. Set that to normal. And observe how it reacts. Okay, we're not gonna cage the RCS. Or the gyros. No. That's something we're not gonna do. They're spinning, and I don't know what caging the gyros did. Maybe the autopilot thought that we were, I don't know. That the spinning was actually where we were supposed to be for some reason. What was the last part of the transcript? I think that was it. All right, so our gyros are at normal. They were starting at normal. I'm not sure what was up with that. So time to retrograde is in 1 hour and 23 minutes. We still have plenty of fuel. We used about half of our auto fuel and maybe 65, probably closer to 69% of our manual fuel. What we're gonna do is we're gonna time warp ahead. Although let me see if there's any checklist that we should be looking at here. Let's go back. There's pre-retro. This is approximately 30 minutes before retro time that we'll be running this. Okay, sounds good. So let's time warp ahead to that mark and just observe the Earth behind us. Oh, well, technically we're looking behind us, is why I said that. It is very beautiful. Voltage is good. Oxygen is good. Fuel is good. We are descending, yeah? Yeah, we're descending into our periapsis at the moment. I wonder if the orbit we were placed on was done in such a specific way where our periapsis is going to be reached at our time to retrograde, so we're firing retrograde at our periapsis. I kind of wonder if that's the case. That might be. All right. It looks like we are going to be in the dark here again, so let's flip these on. Sure, our flashlight's working here. Looks like we get dark one more time. And I haven't set our fuses from anything what it was before. I think pre-retro checks will have us do that. Some more city lights. 30 minutes from retrograde. Prepare the cockpit by following the T-minus 30 minutes part of the pre-retro checklist. Cooling the cockpit interior before re-entry. Well, I do know we're gonna want this set to full cool. We're gonna want to really cool down because we're gonna really heat up. All right, and then 15 minutes before retro time, we have some more things to do. All right, let's time warp ahead to that mark. And say farewell to Australia. All right, T-minus 15 minutes to retrograde sequence. Complete the pre-retro checklist. Let's do it. So, emergency retro sequence fuse. On, and that on. 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, 3, those are all on. All right. ACS 0.05G fuse on. Just checking a lot of the fuses here. Our periscope fuse is on. I keep having to look left to keep looking right again, and it's not working here. CMD receiver. I don't really need to know where all these are, but it doesn't hurt. On. TLMI frequency is on. All right, squib switch is armed. Auto retro jet switch is off. TM low frequency switch is on. Transmit switch is still set to UHF. We're at high power. BCN switch continuous? What is the BCN switch, actually? Oh, beacon switch. That's ground command and continuous. Beacon is on, continuous. Correct. Retro jettison fuse is off. Retro manual fuse is on. Okay. Attitude select is retro right here, and we will maintain retro attitude. Gonna hit run on there and just hit proceed. Yep, alright, we did it all correctly. Sweet. Emergency drogue deploy is still off. I'm pretty sure we're gonna want that on. So retro, we just watch the lights. In re-entry, we have some things to do when retro fire turns green. And that is a very simple checklist to go through. I think I am prepared for re-entry. So let's time warp ahead to our time to retrograde. Retro sequence is starting. Verify that the capsule is ready and prepare to follow the retro checklist on ignition. I am prepared to follow that checklist on ignition. All right, these appear accurate. I can't tell anything by our periscope, but I can see that the horizon is here because that's where the stars stop. There's a little bit of something over here. So we appear to be at least on the horizon. How much time we have? We got 4 minutes, 20 seconds. I'm gonna take a gander at spinning around just to verify we are in fact facing retro. There's the sunrise here. That is facing prograde. So I am confident we are in fact facing retro. That's my little makeshift way of making sure of that. The sunrise is happening behind us. And we had a little bit of manual fuel left. Might as well use it, right? All right, so let's switch this back in. Give this back control. Now WASD, we do not have control anymore, as intended. Let's wake up. Let's get our wake up lights on. We have T-minus 3 minutes to retrograde. There we go. We are, in fact, facing retro. Now I have a visual indicator through the cockpit. Okay. T-minus 1 minute here. Check all of our batteries. Seem to be good. All right, we are facing retro. Retro sequence green. Retro attitude green. Okay, good, good, good. Retro attitude is going red. It's flashing red and green. That's a warning. Hold on, it says it's bright. That's to be expected. Retro attitude is not doing too well, but we're close enough. All right, retro checklist. Our retro attitude is not doing too well. It was enough to trigger retro. I don't know if we're entirely how we want to be. All right, retro checklist complete. Retros are firing. Okay, now so, re-entry checklist. When retro fire turns green, prepare for jettison by following the re-entry checklist. I'm gonna wait till this turns green. It's gonna flash a warning. It's gonna flash... No, I thought it would. Maybe it won't. We'll see what happens when this turns green here. Let's see a radio check. Are we within stations? We should be. Altitude check. 118 kilometers. We're gonna arm this. We're gonna arm the fuse. So maybe it wanted us to do that manually the entire time. All right. Or maybe I did this exactly at the time it turned green. Who knows, honestly. Okay, so now what we need to do is select re-entry. There we go. Check that we have correct attitude. I believe we have correct attitude, yes. And we'll watch this. We'll monitor attitude indicator until this light appears. And we'll be observing our roll rates. Now, our temperatures were here. Let's check. Our seat temperature is actually increased for some reason. Our cabin air is absolutely freezing. That's ideal. We want it to be cold in here. Pressure is good. Pressure is good. Our oxygen is good. Our fuel levels are quite low after this flight. I was pretty generous with the use of fuel, to be honest. Our descent is, well, we are descending. That should be a lot more than that, though, I think. Let's get another altitude check. How low are we now? 116 kilometers, so we're coming back down. Fuel quantity. Yep. Honestly, yep. Maybe we'll have enough for re-entry. Maybe. This little thing kept me alive in orbit for like, what, 2 orbits? And now it's gonna keep me alive, burning through the atmosphere of the Earth. Whew. Our auto fuel is very low. I'm a little bit worried about that. We should have enough. We really shouldn't need it all that much. Let's do some final checks here as we're coming through the atmosphere ever so slightly. Radio check. 5/5. All right, so altitude check. How low are we? 104 kilometers. We're approaching the Kármán line. Battery check. 68% on our main batteries. That's lower than I thought it would be. Our isolated battery is still go. Entry interface has started. Roger that. Let's put this away. Verify re-entry attitude. Oh god, our fuel's almost out. And that the ASCS is working. Prepare to take over manual control during re-entry as needed. We will see you on the inside of the atmosphere. Enjoy the ride. Enjoy the ride. I think this roll is intended. Let's check this. I actually don't know for certain if this roll is intended, but it seems like it's intended. Our pitch and our yaw are still fine. We are just holding a nice rotation here, which is kind of cool. I like this music right now. Just looking at all the valves here. This is what was keeping us alive. Oh god, the G's are building up. No time to listen to some soft piano anymore. We're coming back to the Earth. Accelerometer, we are facing 5, 6 G's. We'd be definitely doing G breathing exercises right now. The atmosphere itself is slowing our roll, but we are still rolling. I don't know what re-entry attitude is exactly, so I can only really guess that we're holding it. We're definitely flying backwards into the atmosphere, and that is intended. Let's see if we can still get a radio check through the plasma. It seems like we can. Altitude check. How low are we now? 67 kilometers. We are really, really falling. Our G's are, oh my goodness. 7.5 G's on re-entry here. We're really slowing down now. We're holding pitch and yaw, and that's really the important things to hold during a re-entry. Oxygen is holding. Our cabin temperature is increasing. As expected, to be honest, this whole spacecraft is getting very hot. It seems like we're sliding a little bit to yaw. I don't know if this is entirely desired. I kind of don't like the rotation we're on right now at all. I'm gonna hold because it might be for a purpose, but we're kind of rotating on a weird sort of angle. I don't know if that's intended. It could be intended to distribute heat everywhere in the spacecraft. Radio check in the plasma. They can still read us. All right. Altitude check. We're down to 41 kilometers. Oh God. Our cabin air is going on 200 degrees Fahrenheit. Oh boy, we see you at 41 kilometers. Yeah. Oh man, no, I have concerns about this reentry. I don't think that this is nominal. I believe this indicates that we are still falling correctly, though. The smoke right here, I think we're still falling correctly. All right, we're picking up the altitude meter. We are low enough to pick this up. This is Aurora. Do you read? I do. I do read. Loud and clear, Aurora. Oh, that was asking to them. I was asking if they can read. They can read too. Thank goodness. Thank goodness they can read. All right, I'm ready to manually deploy the drogue chute if it does not deploy on its own. But oh my goodness. Blue skies ahead. We're going to start falling through clouds. We're going to see clouds ahead, and that's going to be a beautiful sight after that harrowing re-entry. It's going to be an absolutely beautiful sight. The drogue is out. Oh goodness, the drogue is out. Oxygen emergency. I'm gonna just assume that that is okay. That happened on our suborbital flight too. All right. Our fuel has stopped, and I think we have a sliver of fuel there. We have a sliver of fuel there for re-entry. That was perfectly. That was planned. We had a full tank of gas. I'm gonna use a full tank of gas. You know what I'm saying? Main chute deploy. Oh, thank God. Seems like the rest of the batteries we're holding. Once again, you have created history. This is a huge achievement. You are scheduled for 2 more flights. I'm scheduled for 2 more flights. All right. Recovery is heading your direction. Roger. Okay. So this right here, pull to water seal regulator. That's it's kind of important when we hit the water, I think. 1,000 feet. Landing bag light is green. This is the USS Mandalay. We do not have visual yet. Keep looking, Mandalay. Keep looking. I'm a big old parachute in the sky here. Roger that. Okay, we have a visual, but we are still quite far. We estimate to be there in about 20 minutes. Roger that. Yeah, splashdown hasn't happened yet. Hold on. It's not good to be home yet, N9 Gaming. Just hold the... Deny. Oh, I can't deny that. 5,000 feet. Oh, man, is it... It's good to be back. It's good to see that beautiful blue clouded sky above us. And now that we're in gravity and, you know, looking straight up, I'm going to take another sip of water from my glass, which has made it through re-entry as well. We'll reveal that later and give flight something to think about. And 3, 2, 1. There we go. It sure is good to be home. Great work. That's another first for you. Roger that. I'm sure you'll catch up, Patrick. The score is 2-0. You bet I will. We'll see you at the debrief. This is MCC signing off. So yeah, the post-flight analysis of this, I think everything went well. I think I used a little bit more fuel than I needed to. And I don't think I have a full understanding as to how exactly the gyros operate, how they can be aligned. I think there are sensors that look for the horizon, look for the stars, maybe? And I think I may have operated them incorrectly. There was a moment when we switched this to gyro cage, and the autopilot decided to put us on a very, very steep roll that seemed to be increasing. So I let that happen for a little bit because I wasn't sure what was going on. But we switched it over to normal and just corrected that. And that almost used more fuel than we had. So we have just a sliver of fuel left after the reentry attitude maneuvering. And that could have very well made it impossible for us to hold auto attitude during a reentry. Maybe that led to us being a little bit further away than the USS Mandalay thought we would be, but you know, within 20 minutes, that's not bad at all. We had 2 warning lights. I believe, you know, fuel quantity, that's to be expected. The O2 emergency, I wonder if you want me to pull that out. I actually don't know. I'm not entirely certain why that warning light pops up every time. But considering we're in the atmosphere of the Earth now, oxygen is really no longer a problem in any regard. So, that was the first orbital flight in Mercury. I'm not certain what missions await us in the campaign, if there are any more Mercury flights, but this one was real fun. So, I want to thank you so much for watching, and peace out.